welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and that's right, we are back playing Entropia Universe. I forgot to dump my bags before I started this video, so I'm going to quickly do that. Yeah, it's been a while, guys. I know that some of you might be watching the live stream that Eric and I do on a bi-weekly basis, or a semi-weekly basis, but it's been a while since I've done anything in Entropia Universe, especially video-wise. And so I wanted to take the opportunity to jump in, give you guys a life update, and explain where the hell I've been all this time. And I'm kind of hoping to get back into the swing of things. So, about 2.5 years ago, I got offered a job I couldn't refuse. I was in bank management. I thought things would go well. I did have to put a pause on things because of regulations. Got that cleared up. It took them, 7 months. And by that time, unfortunately, I lost my stride. But also, because of how short-staffed we were, I ended up turning over the entire staff of the branch within 4 months and had to hire all new people. It was just, it was tough. Sometimes life is tough, and sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, and I can't sacrifice my family, and I can't sacrifice my job, so I had to sacrifice my hobbies, and it came as a big sacrifice. And then they closed that branch, and I ended up getting moved to a branch that was roughly a 65-minute commute each way. So I'd leave my home at 7 a.m. and wouldn't get home until 6:30 p.m. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, that's a long day. And so, again, things got sacrificed. And then I ended up in an amazing relationship. So that's good. But it also meant, again, I needed to prioritize that over my channel. But things have changed. I'm still in the relationship. That didn't change. But, we moved. I changed back to my old job. So, I actually have time to myself now. And so I wanted to take the opportunity to jump back in and reconnect with my old hobbies. And this is one of my favorite hobbies. I do have other hobbies. I play Grimdark Future, which is one-page rules take on what most people would know as Warhammer 40k. It is different both in lore and in mechanics, but the idea is very similar, which probably surprises absolutely no one. So, just like before recording this video, I was doing some painting on my pile of shame TM. Got some goblin tanks that are primed, and the first part of them, because any vehicle, if anyone here is a wargamer, when you paint vehicles, you got to do them in pieces, and I'm impatient, and I painted the second layer a little too soon. And so now I'm going to have to redo that second layer to make sure that it's consistent, but also I need to let the enamels sit, because I use enamels instead of Games Workshop acrylics. But it's really nice to be able to reconnect with my hobbies for the first time in almost 3 years, and it's really nice to be recording a video again. I did try recording videos in the interim, but the problem is that because of everything else going on, things would happen that would ruin the video. Like, as an example, I was trying to do an XCOM series, which I think I'm going to try doing. I'd love to hear what your opinions are. And I really enjoy the game, and then I'd have 4 or 5 videos with no sound because I screwed up the settings on OBS. Because it's usually set to go through my microphone, but I was playing without the headphones on, and that just fucked everything up. So that got frustrating. It is what it is. Life happens. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a quick update, and I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit philosophically about, you never know what life's going to bring you, and never turn down a challenge, but be willing to take a step back. And here's what I mean about this. So I went from being a branch manager to a wealth banker, which is really frankly, it's what I'm good at. And that might sound arrogant, but believe me, it is a very specialized skill set. Business banking, I can't fucking do to save my life. But wealth banking the nuances of it, I understand. I don't understand the mentality of business owners very well. And so there's a lot of crossover there, but it's the personal stuff I get. So I did that for a year and a half. But after a year and a half, I realized that the fact that I had no time, I have a teenager. The only time we spent together for a lot of that period was during our live streams. And so I moved back to my old job, and now I'm 5 minutes away from work instead of 65 minutes away from work. In fact, I have been running, I have been there for 2 weeks, and I've run those 2 weeks on half a tank. I'm now just barely below a quarter of a tank. That's how little I'm driving now, when I was putting 2 tanks in the Jeep every week. Even though I took a pay cut technically to go to this job, go back to my old job, the math ended up still being, I'm ending up with more because I'm not dumping half my paycheck into my gas tank. And I'm sure a lot of you can appreciate that. But if you think about it, being willing to take a look at something and being like, okay, maybe it would be better if I take a step back, pivot, and go back to another thing that I enjoy doing. Even if the money coming in doesn't look as good, sometimes it doesn't have to if the money going out is much lower. And that was a hard lesson for me to take in, because, you know, people want to earn money. Everyone wants to earn money. Half the people on YouTube are in it to try to get monetized and earn money so they can quit their job and just be a full-time YouTuber. And while I'm far from ever monetizing this channel, and doubt I ever would, I won't say that. I won't say that. But I'm not sure that's the direction I want to go with it. I just like chatting with you guys. It was very enlightening to me when I did the math and realized that sometimes it's just easier to, even if your top line is higher, if your expenses overcome that top line in comparison to a lower top line, meaning the income you make, then it's the net that matters. It's what you have at the end of the month. And so that is, sometimes when you're in it, you don't really see that, but in 2 weeks, I'm already seeing it. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Haven't decided what, how these videos are going to look now. I've considered going back to the McBain Moments style, where we take a quote and we break it down. I think that was a good way to do things. I think that there was a lot of positive coming to the channel when I was doing that, so I look forward to digging into brainy quotes and talking about stuff again. So yeah, if there's any specific content you want to see that you know I've produced or can produce, let me know. Current things that I will not put on the channel, at least not in the plan, is I'm doing a Fallout 4 playthrough. I'm doing a Minuteman playthrough, which is almost as grindy as Entropia Universe, because you have to stop every 30 seconds to go rescue a settlement. But I'm enjoying it, but that's kind of like my chill time. I'm thinking about doing an XCOM playthrough, because I've actually kind of fallen in love with that game, even though it's stressful as fuck, because it's a tactical game, and if you lose someone, they're just dead. You can either load a save, and depending on the version you're playing, it won't let you reload a save. It just auto-saves when someone dies. And to me, that's much more authentic, so that's how I tend to play. But yeah, if there's content that you know I've produced in the past that you think I could revamp, or if there's something that you want to hear from me, let me know in a comment. I'm gonna just hunt for a little bit, and it's been so long since I've done a video where I'm chatting instead of a live stream that I've kind of lost the art. And so let's rebuild a skill, and I hope you'll come along for the ride. That's all I got for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I really appreciate all of your support and the support you've given me through all of the years, even when I have had less than frequent posting. If it weren't for you, I would have no audience, so I appreciate it. All right, guys, you all have a great one.